So before we begin, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be made aware every time we put out a new video. And remember to check us out on Instagram, and now you can also find us on Facebook for exclusive content. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of All Things Universal Orlando. Today, we're going to be continuing on in the video that I gave you last week. Last week you watched the top 5 photo ops that there are available in CityWalk, and today I'm going to be giving you 5 more. And if you watched last week's video, you knew this one was coming. I had a really good response to that video, and a lot of people wanted to know what the remaining 5 were, so I thought, well, let's not wait, let's just put it right out there. So today is another 5 more series video where you're going to get 5 more photo opportunities that are right there at CityWalk. Now, these are the bottom 5. These are not going to be, in my opinion, as good as the first 5. But they're still good, they're still worth doing, and I don't think you're going to want to miss them. So, without further delay, let's get right to it.
I'm Lozo, and here's number 5.
Of the first of the 5 more is going to be the Islands of Adventure Lighthouse, the light tower, whatever you want to call it. It is absolutely iconic. It is the symbol of that theme park. And though it really isn't set up to be specifically a photo op, I think if you're going to get the globe for the Universal Studios side, you kind of need to get this one for the Islands side. I think another photo op, maybe an honorable mention, I'll throw it in there now, would be the volcano at Volcano Bay. Now I'm not putting that one in this top 5, but that's the point. That is what is representative of that park. That is the iconic symbol. Whether it's a volcano at Volcano Bay, the globe at Universal Studios, or here, the lighthouse. The downside to this photo op is that it's so big, and in order to get the insignia on there, you have to get far away. And so it's not a great photo op, but it's necessary. I think that you have to have it. I think it's one of those things that you're gonna wanna get. It's that moment that says, hey, I was here. And it is a good photo. You can get close enough to see your face with the brick lighthouse behind you, but not the insignia. Like I said, you have to pull back far away, kind of like in the picture I'm showing you right now, in order to see it all. Nonetheless, I think this is a good photo op. I think it's something you should do, and I think it's something that's worth doing. Like I said, it's not a great one, and that's why it comes in at number 5. Number 4 is the bus at Antojitos. Right outside of the restaurant, you're going to see this aqua or teal colored, it's like a light blue Volkswagen bus, and it's themed pretty well. It captures really the essence of that restaurant. If you've never been in that restaurant, I encourage you to go. The food is authentic, it is very good. And this bus captures what it's like. It captures the ambiance and the decor of that. In addition to that, you can stand there and get a photo op. Like I said, it's a great place to get a photo. In addition to that, it also doubles as a quick service bar. So if you're waiting for a table, you can walk up to this on certain select nights, usually busier times, there's usually a line, and order a drink while you're waiting to go in and be seated. In addition to that, you have a mariachi band that comes out in front of it and usually plays traditional Mexican mariachi music. It's really good, and that in and of itself is an additional photo opportunity with the mariachi band. They will take that photo with you. But usually that service bar is not open, and it's just this van, and it sits right there in front of the restaurant, and it's perfect. And I think it's a great photo op. I take it, my family takes it, and you probably do too, and if you don't, maybe you should. So for all of those reasons, the bus right outside of Antojitos, a good restaurant, themed well, is the number 4 photo op for you.
Top 10 gigawatts, it's number 3!
Number 3. Now this one's probably missed by a lot of you, but just further down up that road, if you take a left in front of the van there at Antojitos and you just keep walking, maybe 100 yards or so is going to be Bob Marley's restaurant. Listen, right outside of that restaurant is a really cool statue. You're seeing images of it now. It's Bob Marley putting his hand up in the air, holding his guitar. And in and of itself, the statue is cool and worth the photo op. But you know what I like about this is the reality of it. There's a facade of his home And it's really cool, this wood-framed home with this small air conditioning window unit hanging up in the window. It's just to me, it's kind of iconic. And it's missed all the time because of where this restaurant is located. You have to pass Pat O'Brien's to get to it. And I don't know that this is a really popular place to go because it's off the beaten path. It's in that upstairs section of CityWalk that is rarely traveled. In fact, every time I walk up there, you've seen it in walkthroughs that I've done, there's really not a lot of people there. Even in busy times, it's not a real hop-in place. And so you might miss this one if you didn't know that it's there. But it is there, and it's a cool one. I mean, if there's anybody cooler than Bob Marley, tell me who it is, because I don't know who that is. But that makes this the number 3 photo op for you there at CityWalk in the 5 More series. Don't miss this one. Take a picture there. It's big enough for you. Get you and your party to stand around it. It's a good photo, it's a good memory, and you'll be glad you did. Number 2 is one of my favorites. And you guys are going to think, this is stupid. And it is stupid. It's the golf cart right outside of Hollywood Drive-In Golf. It's actually one of my favorite things to do in all of CityWalk. I don't think I'll ever again go to Universal and not play at least one round, usually 2, both sides, there at Hollywood Drive-In Golf. I love this place. And so maybe for me, there's that element of nostalgia that is attached to it. But there's just something cool about this little red golf cart right outside of the entrance, right there off the beaten path. You walk into CityWalk, you take your first right like you're going into the theater, you take another right, and there it is. And you sit there, and you take a picture. And it's big enough for everybody to be there, and it's not so big that just you can be there. The point is, this is a great photo op. It's fun. It's quirky, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's a mini golf course and you're taking a picture. Who does that? I do that, and you probably do too if you're watching this video. And if you haven't, maybe you will now. You see the picture, it's pretty good, and you can take it from multiple angles. It's just a great photo op. It's just fun. I don't know how else to describe it. There's just something about Hollywood Drive-In Golf that works for me, and I hope it works for you. And for all of those reasons, this one comes in at number 2. Now, I don't really have an honorable mention, but there are some that I'm going to kind of segue into this. I did mention the mountain or the volcano rather, at Volcano Bay. But I mean, you could stand right outside of Toothsome's Chocolate Emporium, and that's a great photo op. You could do the same thing in front of the Hard Rock Cafe. That is also a great photo op. You could stand outside of Voodoo Donut, and that's a good photo op. There's really tons of theming going on in many, if not all, of the restaurants. And there's a good picture to be taken there at any of them. So there's a number of other places that you could put in there. I didn't want to add those to this list because I wanted this to be specific things designed for photo opportunities. Now, I will grant you that the Lighthouse of Islands of Adventure isn't really designed for that, but it is really cool, and so it's become that. So that's what the honorable mentions would be if I had them, but I don't really have them. I'm not itemizing them, but I think they're worth taking. Those are good photos to have. Now, before we get to the number 1, I want to count down the top 5 so far, at least of the 5 More series. Number 5 is the lighthouse there at the entrance of Islands of Adventure. It is iconic. You should get that picture. Ideally, maybe it's a better picture without you in it, but in any event, take that picture. Number 4 is the bus, the quick service bar bus, right outside of Antojitos. It captures the element of theming. It gives you an idea of what's going to be like inside. The food is good. It's a great restaurant and a great photo opportunity. Number 3, just a little further up the hill there, is going to be the statue of Bob Marley right outside of his restaurant. Same kind of thing. It's a cool statue. Take a picture there. Put your hand up like Bob does. Pretend to play his guitar. I don't know. Do what you're going to do. It's your picture, not mine. Number 2, well, like I said, it's fun, it's quirky, it's stupid, but it's really fun, is the golf cart right outside of Hollywood Drive-In Golf, one of my favorite places in all of Universal Orlando Resort. So here it is.
Number 1!
The number 1 photo opportunity, in my opinion, at least of this 5 More series, right outside of Cowfish, is a cowfish. And you can sit on it. And you can take a picture. And it's big enough to hold more than one of you, and small enough that one of you doesn't look ridiculous. You've seen it there if you've been. It's that fluorescent green/yellow color. People are usually waiting to have a picture taken. I don't know that it's iconic, not yet, but it's one of those things you kind of do when you're there. It's fun, and it's not a bad restaurant. We've been there many times. In fact, prior to this past trip, I would say it's been our go-to place. Gourmet hamburgers, uniquely themed stuff, sushi, you name it, you can probably get it there as far as sushi and hamburgers go. We had a bad experience this last time, but it was no one's real fault. It just wasn't a good experience, but I'm sure we'll go back and give them another go. I mean, it's Cowfish, why wouldn't we? The point being this, you can go in there and have a crazy burger, you can have a unique bit of sushi, and then you can come out and sit on a Cowfish. Where else can you do that? Nowhere. And that's why this one comes in at number 1. So of the 5 more series, Cowfish is the next to the best thing that I think you should be doing. There's 5 more that I think are better than this, and I've made that video last week, and I'll put a link in the description for you to go check it out now if you missed it. But for all of those reasons, Cowfish, that's where you're gonna go this time. Hey, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for sharing this video. Thanks for checking out our merch and being a part of what we do here at All Things Universal Orlando. We love it. We're going to keep doing it. We're not stopping. The updates are going to keep coming. Walkthroughs, more restaurant reviews for you to look forward to. But as always, guys, as we end, go do something awesome, amazing for somebody else. Find a way to bless somebody else today. Don't expect anything in return, and watch what happens in your life. You won't regret that. We'll see ya.